welcome back to my channel. So it is the start of spooky season, and I think we all are very well aware of that. And with that being said, it is time for some fun Halloween looks. So I wanted to ease my way into the season and do something that I feel is doable for almost everyone. And this is nothing super creative. I'm actually not the best at Halloween looks. I don't really pride myself for these types of looks. This time of the year is always not really that great for me in the sense of I have like all these looks I want to show off. I usually am just kind of scrambling at the last minute to do something for the sake of putting up makeup tutorials that are for Halloween, for costume ideas, whatever. Some of them can be really fun. For instance, this one I actually had a pretty good time doing it, and it was something I just thought, you know, that'd be kind of nice. So basically, it may look a little familiar, and if you recognize it, then great, because I'm gonna be really, really proud of myself. But if you don't, that's okay, because it is pretty basic AF. But I was on Snapchat the other night, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of hardly ever on Snapchat these days. I'm pretty much sticking to Instagram stories, and then I'll just transfer my stories over to my Snapchat. But anyways, I was on Snapchat, and I was like, oh, let me see what Halloween filters are up. And so I was going through them, and I saw that they have this one, and I loved it. So I took a pic because I wanted to save it, because I knew I wanted to recreate it for this video. And ta-da, we have this look. I was debating whether to have this be a talk through or a voiceover, and I just decided to do a voiceover. I feel like it's easier. I was able to concentrate more on the actual shading and everything, because as you can tell, it is actually a lot of blending, especially with this killer smoky eyes. So yeah, so don't mind me looking kind of funny talking this intro like this. But if you guys want to see how I got this Snapchat skeleton, and then I just kind of jazzed it up with the outfit and the wig, make it fun. Why not? It's Halloween, you can do anything you want. But yeah, if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. So the first thing that we're going to do is start with the eyes. I figured since the look was going to be really smoky and dark, and since the base is going to be very pale because we are going to be using a lighter shade of foundation than what I normally would use, I wanted to keep the smoky eye done first. That way it's an easier and neater application of everything else that's going to be going on the face. So I am just taking the CoverGirl True Undercover concealer with my MAC 252 and just placing that over my eye, and I did set it with powder. I'm then going to be taking my Inglot AMC liner in 77, which is the blackest of black gel liners, and you really just need the smallest amount of this for this part. It's going to act as an eye base to make sure that the smoky eye is as dark as it can possibly be, and I am just smudging this all over until I get up into the natural crease of my eye with a small dense brush, and I'm just really using the tips of the brush to blend-ish the crease part. It's not going to be blended at all until we start adding shadow, but for the most part the bristles on this brush are going to be kind of lightly blending already. So now with a brush, you can use any type of brush. I just decided to use a smaller packed blending brush. I am taking a black shadow. You're going to want to use a black matte shadow. I am using the one from the Mitchell palette with Beauty Bay, and I am just taking this and packing it and packing it and packing it on, and I'm going to just slowly start to work my way up on the eyelid until I have created enough of a blend to add the second color, which is just going to help further blend this shadow. Now with a different brush, I'm going to be taking a chocolate brown from the same palette, and I'm going to begin to overlap this onto the very edge of where we had left off the black shadow, and I'm just going to begin to slowly work this into my crease. And again, just like I said, slowly blending it upward, and we're really just layering and blending and layering and blending. It's going to take a little bit of a process, but you know the drill with smoky eyes. And then just continuing blending, and I did add a third color to further blend it out. Now With the foundation, I did prime my face lightly with moisturizer. I knew I was going to take this off afterwards anyway, so I didn't want to waste too much time with it. But I'm using a shade that's really light compared to my natural complexion, and I'm going to be taking this down my neck and chest as well. And just applying with the Beauty Blender. You can use any foundation. You can use like actual face paint if you want to, but I didn't have any on hand, so I just decided to use a really, really light foundation. And same with the concealer. We're not going to be normally like concealing and highlighting like we normally do for an everyday glam type of look. Again, I just tried to find the lightest concealer that I owned just to give a little bit of definition to the inner part of my face, since we are going to be hollowing out those cheekbones. And like, just so you guys know now, so there's no disappointment later, I don't know how I didn't see this when I was filming, but I did lose a little bit of footage of how I chiseled out the cheekbone area. So I'll do the best that I can to describe it in word, but as I'm doing this talk through. But I was so mad, but I could not let this like footage all go to waste, so I decided to upload anyway. Anyways, back to what's currently happening on screen. So now I'm just setting everything. I am using my Huda Beauty Easy Bake setting powder to just lightly powder my face. It is in that translucent shade, so even if it does make the rest of my face a little paler than what I would normally like, that's okay, because we want to be pale AF for this skeleton look. Now for the bottom part of the smoky eye, I am just taking a black liner and I'm lining my waterline as well as the root of my bottom lashes before going in and smudging out with the rest of the colors that we use on the top part of my lid. After blending all of these out with various pencil brushes, you can choose to add mascara on your bottom lashes. I didn't, because I just didn't even care to bother with lashes with this look, so you weren't going to really be focused on them anyway. But here's the part where after this I do lose footage of how I blended this out. But basically I took my black liner pencil to map out the shape of where I wanted this bone structure, I guess, to lay. And basically it's just like down the side of the highest point of my cheekbone all the way down to my jaw. And then I did place on there some, I'm gonna just repeat this because this like footage, because like I said, I lost the good stuff. But basically after I laid that down, I just deepened it even more so with like a darker liner, and then began to blend it all out, basically like how you would a smoky eye. I started off with the same black shadow that I used for my eyes, and I aligned that along the edges, and then taking a dark brown, and then from there I actually incorporated bronzers because I felt like the shadows that I had in my palette were going to still be too warm to create that really gradient effect on the sides of the face that the filter on Snapchat actually has. So I ended up using the Balm Oscar bronzers, and I used the darkest shade that they offer and the lightest shade that they offer, because it does have a nice cool tone to it, and just using various brushes to blend it out and down the side of my face to get this effect. Same for the eyebrows. I lost like a lot of the footage of how I did them, but basically I filled them in as normal. I used the Anastasia Ebony Dip Brow because I wanted a really, really dark brow, and I just went super heavy on the product, and I obviously made them a lot bigger. And then I just flicked the top part of the inner corners of the brow to create like that skeletal type of strong brow bone shape. And then here I'm just filling it in with shadow to make it even darker, because I really, really want them to be super dark, because on the Snapchat filter, the eyebrows are super harsh. They're actually really squared off and really shapely as well. So I was just trying to mimic that as best as possible. Here my husband interrupts me, and yeah, he probably thinks like I'm so beautiful. Now for the nose part, again, this is also a little tricky, so I would suggest mapping out with a eyeliner as well, and I took my time with this. Every time I do a skeleton look and every time it comes to the nose, I have to really, really concentrate, because the top part is what's actually really hard to get those like perfect peaks. You want them to be nice and sharp. And then this one I did do a little differently. Again, I'm following exactly like the Snapchat filter looks like, and the nose on there actually has like dimensions, so it creates like that bulb shape on the tip, and then it has like the nostril openings on the side. And I really like that the nose on there has like this pinkish hue to it. So after mapping it out with the eyeliner, I'm then going to begin to start shading with the black shadow and then blending all that out with the hot pink shadow as well. So here I'm just taking a smudge brush and applying that black shadow, creating a nice gradient effect. And then I'm going to be taking another smudge brush to apply the hot pink shadow. And then right in the center, I am going to be popping in a little bit of a pink highlight, which I thought added a nice dimension and look to the overall nose. And it actually looked really, really cool. So there's that. And for the teeth, skeleton teeth can be the biggest pain in the ass ever if you've never done it before. And actually for this look, I ended up adding lipstick because when I tried out the filter for the first time, I had lipstick on and I actually just liked the way it looked on screen like that. So I don't know if it would have added that anyway had I not been wearing lipstick, but since I like the way it looks so much, I decided to add it on to this look. And I took a really nice cool tone lipstick. I believe this is one of the shades from the NYX Liquid Lip Suedes. And then I just decided to add teeth with shadow alone, nothing crazy, nothing too precise. And I just found that it was just so much easier to go super thick on the line, like on the lips, and then you just feather it out with an angle brush and it creates like the teeth look. So it can be fairly easy, but when you're trying to do like a bunch of teeth and make them look super, super accurate, oh, it's like the most annoying thing. Like I said, guys, Halloween looks, special effects, not my forte. But after that, I mean, you're basically done. You know, this is just a lot of blending because it's working with black shadows. And then I just added my wig and popped on a cute dress. You can throw on some heels and you are ready to go out to celebrate the scariest night of the year. So you guys, this wraps up the tutorial. Please be safe on Halloween. I'll see if I can do some more looks. Not making any promises, but we'll see. And I'll see y'all in my next video.